Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes and Games in Lincoln, Nebraska. Boys is in the books. Now we turn our attention to the ladies' side. And hey, look at this. The same two teams, Grand Island and Fremont, will battle for a state championship. Here is our schedule throughout the day. The Class A boys won by Grand Island. They remained unbeaten in the winner's bracket and finished the tournament as state champs in an unbeaten fashion, 3-2 over Fremont, Grand Island, and Fremont girls. And you see Class B boys and Class B girls coming up later. We are the capital city, and we will crown a state bowling champion when we come back.
Live sports and documentaries are part of the valued services from Nebraska Public Media. Fans of high school and college sports have a great way to ensure these programs will continue. Join the Nebraska Public Media Sports Partners Club. This is your home for Husker Volleyball, Big Red Wrap-Up, and high school championships. Log on to nebraskapublicmedia.org/sportspartners and explore the benefits of joining. With your support, sports action will stay right here all year long. And thank you.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes as we get set for the second of our Class A state championships. On the girls' side, it's Fremont and Grand Island for a state title. Fremont comes in at 28-0, GI at 24-5. Let's take a look at where these two teams come from. In fact, surprisingly, the same two places where the other two teams came from, Grand Island and Fremont. Fremont just a quick 50 miles from here at Sun Valley Lanes. Grand Island just out I-80. How do they make it to this championship showdown? Let's take a look at the bracket. Fremont remains unbeaten on the year as they breezed through the winner's bracket. Grand Island came back out of the loser's bracket. They lost that first round to Norfolk, sending them down. They had to come all the way back from that first round through the loser's bracket to make it into the finals. Now for the introductions, Heath's got those.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sun Valley Lanes and Games for the Nebraska School Activities Association's 2023 State Bowling Class A Girls Team Championships. The NSAA recognizes our premier corporate partners, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, the Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association, and Nebraska Orthopedic Center. Today's championship match features the Islanders from Grand Island Senior High against the Fremont Tigers. Congratulations to both teams. Now, Fremont has advanced from the championship bracket, and Grand Island has advanced out of the elimination bracket and will need to win 2 matches to win the state title. Now, let's meet the teams. First, the Grand Island Senior High Islanders. A junior, Ellie Brokaw. A sophomore, Emily Dreyer. A freshman, Wendy Kohler. A freshman, Kaylee Kusala. A junior, Brianna Miller. A junior, Hannah Stromer. And a freshman, Bailey Vrodenall. The assistant coach for the Islanders is Paul Lee, and the head coach is Brad Ernest. Now for the Fremont Tigers. A junior, Haley Bates. A junior, Karina Capron. A junior, Emily Christensen. A sophomore, Alyssa Dorenkamp. A junior, Kaylee McKenzie. A freshman, Chloe Phillips. And a freshman, Kaylin Valentine. Jess Sorensen is the assistant coach for the Tigers, and Mark McKenzie is the head coach. Good luck to both teams. Bowlers, you may begin your 10-minute practice session.
So as the teams warm up and get some practice in before competition, let's look at the lineups. You see Brad Ernest, the head coach. 3 freshmen on this roster, and they are all up-and-comers. One of them, Kaylee Kusala, is the leader, averaging 180 on the season. It's a GI team with a bright future. They are 25-5 on the year. Fremont led by Mark McKenzie. He also led the boys team, as you might remember. They are undefeated on the year, have not been beat. They have one of the true superstars in our sport in the state of Nebraska in Karina Capron. It should be a good one. Fremont and Grand Island Tigers try to complete an unbeaten season when we come back at Sun Valley Lanes.
Imagine a future fueled by soy-based possibilities. A future where creativity and productivity live together under one roof. A future that takes you from point A to point B to point Z, all while ensuring brighter tomorrows for our next generation. A soy-based future? It's already here.
So back here at Sun Valley Lanes for the girls' Class A state championship. Let's take a look at the pattern which was laid down by John Lucido, the proprietor here at Sun Valley Lanes. It's not a specific pattern, but it is a challenge pattern, which means it's more difficult than what you would typically face in a league. The distance, this is the difference between the boys' pattern and the girls' pattern. This is only 37 feet, very different than 44. So this 37 feet is how far down the oiling machine goes. And typically, if you use that, what is it, rule of 31, you subtract the 37, subtract 31 from the feet, 37. So at 37 feet, you want to be at about board 6. So you're going to see these girls playing a little further outside than what we saw the boys.
7 feet shorter than what the boys were working with.
Yep. So ready to go. Same two teams. How about this? Fremont and Grand Island for the girls' state championship. These Tigers come in undefeated on the year. And you see in the background there is Mark McKenzie, the head coach of these Tigers. He said, maybe sometimes these girls are a little bit too businesslike. Like, it means so much to them. They've wanted this season. They finished. It's a good shot. They'll pack up ball. Last year they finished 3rd in the state and so badly want to take home the title this year. Certainly have the talent to do it. But this is a young GI team, kind of an upstart, if you will, GI team led by Brad Ernest. Anna Stromer crosses over. She just a junior. And now back to the right-hand lane. Emily Christensen. Tough to pick this up with a backup ball because it's going away.
Yeah, it's going to be hooking
Yep.
left to right instead of right to left like a typical right-handed bowler would be.
So here is the lefty Stromer. That needs to hook. So open frames for both teams here in frame number 1.
All tied up.
Kai Valentine, a freshman, crosses over. You see how early that started to hook on the lane. It's one of the things we might see with a 37-foot pattern is if you miss inside of your target, like let's say you're looking at board 6 or 7 and you hit 10 or 11, it's likely going to hook earlier. So you might see some of that across lane
Getting
type
in there,
action.
yeah.
Yep. Here's Valentine. Trying to put the first spare on the board, and she does. Nice conversion.
And she's lined up for the pocket. That spare gave her that opportunity.
Cross it over.
Good.
Yeah, good conversion. Winnie Kohler, just a freshman. You're still going to work through some jitters here early on, right?
Absolutely. This is a completely different situation than you've been in before. There's TV lights.
Yeah.
There's cameras on you. There's lots of people. It's quiet. That's such a different thing. Typically in any bowling tournament, it's loud. There's other lanes going, but the quietness of this can be something that can really throw you off.
Here's Bailey Vodenhall. Vodenhall, just a freshman. That's a pretty good looking shot. Oh, doesn't get the 7. Good shot.
Kaylee McKenzie now for Fremont, heading up to UNO when she heads to college, majoring in elementary education, and very good for her.
She switches balls for that spare to the white dot. will go a lot straighter than her ball that she uses for her first shot. It's a plastic, so it doesn't react. Needs to skid, and it does. Flip the left side of the 7-pin. So pretty even here early on. That's a good-looking shot. That's what we talked about. It looked good. It maybe just missed a board or two inside target, and it jumped for Haley Bates.
It's not forgiving.
Good shot for Brianna Miller. Haley Bates covers the spare. Needs to skid. So the open of the fourth for GI gives Fremont the lead. Here is Karina Capron. She's a junior. Has a fantastic game. That jump quickly, missed maybe just a little bit outside and saw an early reaction.
Such a bright future for her in the sport.
Here's Kaylee Kusela now. There, just a little high and leaves the 4-pin. That's a good shot by Kusela. Yeah, 10 back. Kusela just a freshman. Just solid fundamentals for Capron. She's accomplished a lot on the national scene. The top prep bowler here in the state of Nebraska. Hannah Stromer back up on that left lane, crosses over and puts 10 in the pit. That's back-to-back for Grand Island. That'll cut into the lead in a hurry.
Emily Christensen now for Fremont, a multi-sport athlete, also participating in unified track, volleyball, and basketball.
Crossed over and got the strike. Here's Wendy Kohler. Trips that forward, and a 3-bagger now for Grand Island. Look at that last shot from Wendy Kohler. High, and the head pin off the wall, takes out the 7 and trips the 4-pin forward. Put one more on the board. Oh, good shot. Wow. How about GI? 4 in a row. That needs to push. Another one. Right around the pocket. Little high, leaves the 4-7. Here's Kaylee McKenzie on the right-hand lane. Junior averages 169. Solid game as well. Just misses a little inside. And a good cover. going to open the door for GI to take game number 1.
It looked like she used a plastic ball there, which skidded straight past that pin, right? So it makes you wonder if sticking with her strike ball, her first ball, might have gotten some reaction there, and it might have hung on to pick up that spare for her. There's sort of a trade-off when you use a plastic ball.
168, the best the Tigers can have now, and already 174. So Grand Island wins this opening game, and 10 more back for Kaylee Kusala. Kusala, again, just a freshman. Older brother won a state title in the first match here with Grand Island, back-to-back titles. And now the GI ladies have the early lead, 1-0 in this best-of-5 Baker format. So in Baker bowling, each bowler 1 through 5 bowls 2 frames. First bowler will bowl frame 1 and 6. Second bowler frame 2 and 7. Third bowler 3 and 8, and so on. And they switch sides at the halfway point.
The interesting thing about a Baker match in the Baker format is you get to play into different players' strengths, right? Your leadoff bowler, throwing lanes, or excuse me, frames 1 and 6, brings something to the table that maybe is different than what your anchor bowler does, right? You need somebody who's going to come off the bench and be ready to go and make great shots so that the rest of the team can build off of them, whereas your bowler in the 4 or 5 hole need to be reliable. They need to be people who can, close out a game with a lot of strength.
So an opening game win for Grand Island. They win it 204 to 144. The Islanders on top of this best-of-5 Baker format. 4 in a row for GI in that first game. They win it 204-144.
Education quest, take 4.
Why do you want to go to college?
I get to figure out what I want to do with my life.
Independence, living on your own.
I need to prepare myself for the future.
What's your biggest challenge in going to college?
Probably the hardest part is the application.
Deciding where I want to go.
College is a little scary. It's a lot harder and a lot more work.
The financial side of it is really confusing.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
Coverage of the NSAA Bowling Championships is made possible in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest, Nebraska Public Power District, Nebraska Bowling Proprietors. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Well, here is Karina Capron, one of the best in the state. She won the U12 Junior Gold Championships in 2017, was a runner-up in 2018. Just this past January, she bowled in the USA Team Trials. That's the best college, amateur, even pro bowlers. She finished 36th out of 149. She is truly one of the up-and-comers.
That amateur championship is an intense tournament.
Here's the lefty, just a little high, leaves the 4-7. And the shot here from Emily Christensen will look like a lefty. It's a backup ball. We'll see as she releases. Fingers go inside the ball. The ball goes backwards and leaves another 7-pin. For her, that's a difficult shot because, again, she's hooking it the opposite way that she's trying to go. Just as that's a difficult shot for a lefty, right?
Larry, as a collegiate bowler, when I was working on my release and working on isolating, getting my thumb and fingers out at different times, throwing a backup ball was a drill that I used to do at Nebraska.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you wanted the thumb out first?
Get the thumb out first and then
Yep.
your fingers. I got really good at a backup ball, which did not come in handy during a tournament. But you can make it work, and she did.
I was just going to say, if you can play the left side of the lane, that's never a bad thing.
Absolutely. No,
right?
that left side of the lane, there's not many players over there. And so if you're a right-handed bowler who can play the left side of the lane like she just did,
Right.
good for her.
Here's Kai Valentine. Better shot from Kai that time. Just crosses over. Some work left there with the 310. The baby split.
She needs to make just a slight adjustment and she's going to be in the pocket.
Comes up light. So back-to-back opens to open up game number 2 for GI. That's a better shot. Needs to hook or skid, one of the two, and it didn't either. Bailey Vodenall. Uh-oh.
That won't count for Bailey, that one pin.
That's a better shot. Just didn't get the 10 pin out. But a nice looking shot there from Kaylee McKenzie. Kaylee has a 4.0 GPA. I guess it's a mix storm. It's not a white dot. She has the storm mix. Looks like both times that she's missed those right side spares, she's just lost it a little bit. Like if she's used to going straight at it, you know, that's what you want to do, but it just looks like at the bottom maybe it's dropped a little.
Well, in those open frames for her, one of the things that she talked about is having a good mental game and not letting one bad frame stick with you. It's that frame is over, there's nothing you can do about it. So that's going to come in handy as she looks to make some adjustments.
A lot of wood there after the gutter. So gutter 9. That'll send some pins after the 7 and knock it out. Nice shot there by Haley Bates. Here's Miller. That needs to hook. Good you got the 10 pin out, because that's the kind of shot when it comes up that light, you send the head pin to the wall, leave a light 10, and all of a sudden you're staring at a 210. So good to get the 2 pin out. Here's a look at Capron. I like this. Just didn't react. I thought early on she was, you know, this is a 37-foot pattern, so you want your ball at the break point to be outside or right near the 5 board down lane. And early in the match, she was playing more inside, like around 10 or 11. And I thought she needed to get the ball outside of 5 down lane, and she clearly did there. Now it looks like maybe just a move with her feet right, and she's probably going to be lined up.
Oh, she's super close.
Just straight through the head pin. Still a slight lead for Fremont, but with a spare here, GI can close it to within single digits.
Kaylee Kusala and I grew up in the same bowling alley up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Eastway Bowl.
What?
Yeah. She talked about how, she said, I was raised in a bowling alley, which I can relate to. That she started at Eastway Bowl when she was 3 years old. They moved to Grand Island, but in her early years, she was up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, hanging out there at Eastway. I spent many Saturday mornings at Eastway Bowl.
I'm sure, yeah.
Back in the YABA days of youth bowling. Emily Christensen now. She's figured out a spot for that.
Absolutely.
Good for her.
Crosses over. So both strike in the 6th frame. Good answer there. If you grew up in Eastway, you bowled at Eastway, you probably know Randy Clark. The Clarks. Randy was the lane guy there.
Yeah, that's a familiar name.
Yeah. Big bowlers up in the Sioux Falls area. Big shot and nice reaction. That was a good one from Wendy Kohler. This will be the last year in the NSAA that GI will wear those uniforms they're wearing right now, as that takes the 3-pin out, second time in a row. You see, they love the unis, right? They look great. But the NSAA has a rule coming in next year that you have to have 6-inch numbers on the back of the uniform. And GI has the names, so this will be the final year of these. That was on a double, so that one hurts. Again, it seems like Fremont maybe not in the right part of the lane yet. They're just still a little bit too far inside. If they can get feet and eyes maybe out around 5, get their feet right and their eyes out to 5. The 5-1, which is the first arrow on the lane, as that goes a little high.
Kaylee McKenzie looking up to Patrick Mahomes, who's heading to the Super Bowl here in a few days.
To who? What's?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. You know him?
Plays football?
He plays football. Says Mahomes always has a good mental game.
Patrick Mahomes has a lot of good things going on.
He has a Sioux Falls connection as well. His father played for the Sioux Falls Canaries.
The minor league baseball team up there.
Yeah, little Patrick Mahomes used to run around the bird cage.
Sioux Falls Canaries used to be in the Northern League, which also competed the same as the Lincoln Salt Dogs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So Fremont in control. This would be a big spare for Haley Bates. Convert this. In control. That's a big one, especially after the open for GI in the 9th. Oh, good reaction. Little mixer by Kusala. Just a rough start in this game for GI to open 4 of the first 5 frames. Tried to come back with that double, but then 6 was not helpful, and there is Capron. She figured it out. That was a great shot.
Capron, in addition to being such an incredible bowler, is also such a strong student at school as well. She has a 3.9 GPA. Favorite subject is math.
What?
I know. She's after my heart.
Crosses over, leaves a 310, but that's going to be plenty.
And Kusala, another one with strong academics, wanting to go into sports medicine after high school.
.119 is the final for Grand Island. Capron can convert here, they have a 150. So 149. And Fremont has taken game number 2. Off to a good start. The crossover backup carry. And Fremont evens it at 1.
How do you know when you've found your team? They all might look a little different. They might find each other for different reasons. Maybe you're trying something new, or you've done this before. Whether you're winning or just doing your best, when you're on the lanes, they're right behind you. Reunite with your team.
Well, Nebraska Public Media Sports brings you all the action from the NSAA Swimming and Diving Championships on Saturday, live from the Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln. That begins at 11 a.m. Central. Live streaming available at nebraskapublicmedia.org and on the Nebraska Public Media app. Back here at Sun Valley Lanes, ready for Game 3. All even at 1 apiece. GI wins the first, 204-144. Tigers take the second, 149-119. Leading it off again for the Tigers, Emily Christensen. I mentioned it earlier, but Coach McKenzie, you can see in the background on the right there, you know, these girls are sometimes just getting them to relax a little bit, not take it so seriously would really help them. He said they are just really focused on this undefeated season and want so badly this state championship. Have an undefeated season in the format that Nebraska High School Bowling bowls is really difficult, because in a tournament, if you face a team in just one match with 8 points, you could easily lose that single game, and that's considered a match. And so to be undefeated this far into the season is pretty remarkable.
That's not easy.
They finished 3rd place last year. Good cover by Emily Christensen. After that first open that she had in game 1, she has gone strike, spare, strike, spare. So she has been solid in that leadoff spot for the Tigers. Good cover there by Hannah Stromer. Here's Kai Valentine. Needs to hook. So that effectively wipes out the spare when you gut her on a mark. She is very at the pocket, crushed, just crushed. What a reaction.
So much energy from Wendy Kohler.
Over it does, but too much, and there's that reaction. Look at that! Off the back, the 1-3 go. And Vodnall with the strike.
She can believe it.
See what it was. Boy, I missed it. It was
4?
It didn't hit the head pin, so it had to. Man, it was crazy. Couldn't see what came off the wall and back to take it out.
I said the 4. I meant the 6. Was it the 6?
It could have been the 6.
Could have been the 6.
I think something came across, hit the back of the 6, which allowed the 6 to take out the 1-3. Big. Well, that's capitalizing on a break, isn't it? You get a big break like that, and you step up, and this is and a good conversion.
And not an easy one.
No.
Those can be deceiving, because a little baby split like that can look like it's easily makeable, but those can be some of the hardest ones, because you have to hit it just right.
It's going to cross over. It's a tough 3-9. Haley Bates needs a trip of 4. Just barely catches the backside, does not trip it forward. What makes this 3-9 so difficult for Kusala is the pins being straight behind each other, so you can't just take the front one, right? You have to angle and hook at this. You see, looking back at Coach, how many left? You saw her question, how many left do I move to pick this up? So if you're unfamiliar with kind of the geometry of bowling, there's, based on the oil pattern, there's a defined number of boards that you can move your feet right or left, and good coaching right there, that you can move your feet right or left, still throw your strike shot, and the ball will pick up every left side spare. And in that instance, we even tell our bowlers to go 7-2 left off of their strike, or maybe 8-3, depending on what it's doing, and still get that out.
Such an exciting thing in high school bowling is how solid these coaches are. They're not just facilitating the team. They're not just the ones who, you know, sort of make the travel arrangements and make sure everything. They're coaching them. They are helping them to know more about the sport, to know more about how to make adjustments, how to select the ball that you're going to use. They are such good coaches that are going to keep these youth bowlers in the sport for the long term.
Just don't think you get into a state championship match if you're not a good coach.
No. They do a great job.
That needs to hook. So back to the top of the order here for Fremont, Emily Christensen. That's going to cross over. Needs to catch that head pin, and it does, but ooh. This is a difficult spare.
Because there's sort of two things happening with this spare.
Needs to hook. It does. Good cover. It's 3 straight marks for Hannah Stromer.
So two things happening with this spare here for Emily. She has to find a way to get the 3 pin to take out the 7 while keeping the ball on the 8 as well. There she goes. Look at that.
What a shot.
Makes it look easy.
Wow. That's a terrific shot. Tight ropes the foul line there. Stays behind it. Boy, gee, I really could do that in this 3rd game. Right through the middle. That was a substitution. That's Alyssa Dornkamp, the sophomore, now into the game. And a foul there, so that was not a spare conversion, despite what you saw in the lane. Wendy Kohler picking it up, she had fouled. Better shot. Yeah, there's 10 back. That's back-to-back strikes for Dodenall. And Dodenall had that, the last one trip carried. Needs to hook a lot. And leaves the washout. 1-2-4-10, and some work to do. She's throwing her reality check. That needs to push, and it does. Still GI's game in hand. Fremont with 3 opens. And despite the 2 opens from GI, they did have that 3 in a row. 154 is the best GI can have, or the best Fremont can have. 154. Already Grand Island at 169. That's going to be a winner for GI.
So now for Grand Island, who mathematically is going to win it no matter what,
Yep.
right? Now's a great opportunity to play around the lane a little bit, right?
Yes.
See what's working, what's not working.
Such a great point. These are the moments here where you know it's out of hand, but you try a different ball, do you move to a different part of the lane? What can we do to learn more about the condition and the reaction that we have in the lane that's going to set us up for success? And she's going to stick with that, with the idle. See her feet, she started right at 20. Got the messenger to come across. Down lane, that might have got out to about 6, which is probably where she wants to be down lane.
And she just has such a beautiful reaction.
It's a great game. 186. The score for Grand Island. There's no doubting the fundamental game. She's still deciding where she'll attend college next year. Nebraska certainly still in the equation. She's considering Oklahoma Christian, also looking at Louisiana Tech.
Something I've been watching with her is how straight she walks, which I know sounds so silly and simple, but so often a bowler will line up at one spot on the lane and then drift left or right and slide.
Lane machine doing its work here between matches, putting down that 37-foot pattern, which means at 37 feet down the lane, you want your ball to be somewhere around the 6 board down lane. That's when oil stops. That's when you typically get your best reaction and you set yourself up for the best opportunity to score. We head to the 4th. GI looking to end an undefeated season of Fremont. Can the Tigers respond? And how many times they've been in this situation, right, throughout the year? At a point where they have to win to keep that unbeaten streak alive. That's going to have to skid a lot. 1-2-4 remaining.
And their coach talked about how seriously they take it. Maybe that's where that comes from, is so many times when they've been in this situation, this must-win situation.
Good cover. It's a way to start if you're GI. It's exactly what you want to do. That's a tough one. So here's Wendy Kohler now on the left-hand lane. Leaves the 5-8. Kai Valentine back in. Needs to flip. 1-2-4-7.
I think she's moved a little bit to the left.
You're right. But then also missed right. Good cover by Kohler. Back-to-back spares to open up game 4 for GI.
Looks like she might have moved a little bit to the right for this spare.
That should flip and cover. Nice. It's a big spare there to answer the back-to-back spares for GI. Crossed over, left the 3-pin. This is where Kayla McKenzie can really step up here.
McKenzie, a Spanish Honor Society student.
That's a great shot. That might even be a ball change. In fact, maybe a phase 2, and I'm not sure that's what she was throwing before. I could be wrong. Great reaction there, and a great shot. Good cover.
Yeah, it looks like Bailey moved in a little bit to the left as well, making some adjustments.
Bates gets the carry. A double, big double here for Fremont. Got the mixer. Well, you feel the intensity picking up here late in game number 4. This is an important shot here for Capron. She is so money in these situations. Needs to push, comes up high, trips a 4. Big 3-bagger for Capron. Comes high, 4-pin, wobbles, and just doesn't fall.
It wanted to for a split second there.
These two teams have squared off twice before this year, and Fremont has won both. They beat them 3-0 in the Lincoln Pius 10th tournament, and then also beat them later 3-1 in the HAC, the Heartland Athletic Conference tournament. Let's take a look at that last shot by Capron. Watch this. See, that's exactly where she wants to be. Got the flip. Trips the 4-9, both.
Just a beautiful roll from her ball. It's just so smooth.
Yes, there are monitors here in the arena.
Yet another weird part about bowling in a championship. You can see yourself.
That's right.
That's not normal in a bowling tournament.
Ooh, that's a tough break. It didn't look like that bad of a shot. But leaves the 6-7.
Hannah Stormer here for Grand Island is one of many girls who are listing something in the medical field as their career choice post-high school.
I'm looking at the Fremont schedule, and I believe there is only one other time this year that they won a 3-2 match, which means they've only once this year been in a situation where they've had to go 5 to win a match. And that was against Wayne. Wayne will be here for the Class B Girls State Championships.
So Larry, you're a coach.
Yeah.
You have a team that hasn't had to go to 5 in a championship very often. What do you say when they get in that situation? They don't have much experience needing to go that far.
Yeah, I think, it's trust your training. I mean, this is what you've trained for the entire year, right? I mean, this is why in practice you put yourself in pressure situations. We do a lot of lining both sides of the lanes and letting players scream at you as you walk up the bowl to make you focus. It's funny. The first few times they do it, they laugh and giggle and think it's funny, but later you really realize how focused in and how you can shut everything out. And so that's when you just say, trust your training. We've done this before. We've been in this situation. Let's go make the shots that we know we can make. boards, crosses over, gets the carry. That's a big one from GI. Big double after a couple of opens. I thought for a second that 6 was going to come across and take the 4 out. Right, on a double in the 9th frame. Here's Miller. Miller wants it to get up. And that's what we talked about, that 210. If you come up just a little light, barely clip the head pin, you hope you can get that 10 pin out. Need this spare to stay in charge, and they're still in control. Great run, really needed that one too. 177 now, the best that GI can have. And if Fremont can just get a couple of marks in the 9th and 10, they'll wrap this up. Needs to push, good shot. Great shot. What a solid shot that was in a tough situation.
That's what you get out of these teams. They're so good.
And that's back-to-back strikes in a deciding 4th game for Haley Bates. And now Capron trying to do the same thing. It's a flip. Getting a little bit different reaction on the left lane than she is the right. So despite the spare, this one is going to go to Fremont.
Capron talked about looking up to professional bowler Kelly Kulik, talking about how she throws the ball beautifully and she has such a smooth approach, and you can tell she's watched her.
Yeah. Couple of subs getting an opportunity here. Emily Dreher with that shot for GI. And now in the left lane, here's Chloe Phillips. Chloe is just a freshman. It's going to be enough to do it for the Tigers. 185-164. We are headed to a deciding 5th game. A couple of big strikes from Haley Bates in the 4th leads the Tigers. Knotted at 2. Deciding 5th on its way.
Live streaming for the NSAA championships are also available at the Nebraska Public Media website and on the free Nebraska Public Media app.
It's been back and forth here in this Class A state championship. Grand Island 204 to open it up. Fremont comes back and answers in both the 2nd and 4th games, and now we head to a deciding 5th. Welcome back here to Sun Valley Lanes. Emily Christensen to open it up for Fremont. Good shot. That's her 3rd strike of the match.
That's how you want to start game 5 for sure.
Absolutely. Here's Hannah Stromer. Leads that to hook. Ooh, Stromer with a great shot. Leaves a ringing 7-pin. Kai Valentine. She had 2 spares last game. She's settled in. Crossed over. Got the carry. Big double to open up game number 5. You know, Fremont has not been in this situation in 2 months, where they've been in a deciding 5th game to win a match. An undefeated season on the line for the Tigers, and they open it up with back-to-back strikes.
You can't ask for anything more as a coach.
How about it? Ooh, I thought it was going to be
made it
3. Yeah. Great shot.
Wendy Kohler goes by Maybird.
Maybird.
In the marching band.
Ah. Not sure what that means, but I'll go with it. Maybird. Good cover. Six straight marks for Kaylee McKenzie after that 9 spare. And a good answer. Here's Haley Bates, who you saw her try to direct that. She knew she missed it a little bit right. You saw the correction at the bottom.
Split second decision at the end of your swing.
That's when you can tell somebody's been bowling a while, right? When they have the feel for at the bottom of the swing.
You know something's off.
I'm missing in, I'm missing out. You auto-correct without really even thinking about it. She's throwing a jackal. What was your favorite piece of equipment when you were bowling? Black Beauty?
I don't know that I had a Black Beauty.
That would have been like in the 70s.
Yeah.
I was trying to
I feel like maybe I
date
wasn't
you there.
alive yet. No, when we were the first team, Nebraska was the first team that had tournament balls with our team logo on it.
Is
So
that
my,
right?
my Husker ball, yeah. So prior to that, any ball that had a logo on it was a plastic ball, right? You could get loads of plastic balls that had team logos, sports team logos, and NFL, whatever you wanted. But there hadn't yet been any tournament balls that had a team logo on it, and we got red strike balls, first balls that had the Husker logo on it. They were cool.
We were a hammer team.
Back when that was just the name of it, a hammer. Like
That was it. There was no other name. It was just a hammer. Nice cover. That's a great front 5 for the Tigers. A clean front 5. Puts a little pressure here on Brianna Miller to make this conversion, which she does easily. Kusala, sit. Yeah, you off her hand, she knew it. You can see the reaction. Leaves the 310.
And another one of those little baby splits that can be
frustrating.
Not can be frustrating, are frustrating.
Kai Valentine, part of that good start here. She gets the crossover and carries that. That was part of the double for Fremont. Got a shout out to John Lucido as well, the proprietor here at Sun Valley Lanes, who's just done a remarkable job. Not only this week with these bowlers, but over his entire career. There's John, professional Bowling Proprietors of America Board of Director member, 32-year PBA member. Hosted the U.S. Open in 2022. Love the tie, the bowling tie, John. Innovative, respected. People around Nebraska maybe don't realize what an innovator and a leader we have in the bowling industry across the country here with John Lucido at Sun Valley. He's hosted here 3 collegiate national championships. We mentioned he hosted that U.S. Open in 2020 that Jason Belmonte won. 5 women's professional tour events have been here at Sun Valley Lanes. And, of course, coming in 2025, the Women's U.S. Open is going to be here.
I believe I remember as well that John was called out to Washington, D.C. To help install, not install, with the lanes in the White House.
What?
They were getting a new oil machine, something. He was called out there to do something. You'll have to ask him about it.
I will. That opens the door a bit. This is an important shot here for Wendy Kohler. Back-to-back opens for GI. They're down in the match, game 5. Kohler needs to convert this. 25-pin lead, still within reach. Got a strike last time up. See it just get to the hook spot and just labored and then didn't pick up.
Had the skid, but couldn't get the roll quite there when he hit that break point.
Good cover. That was an important one. Ooh, just caught the head pin. Watch this again, just barely gets that head pin. Brushes it to the right. Ooh. That needs to hook.
She flirts with that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 board out there.
That's just a little bit high. Boy, looked like a good shot, and right at the last minute, a little heavy.
She looks like one who's using her strike ball as her spare ball as well, which is a difference. Some players have a plastic ball that they use that isn't going to hook. It's just going to go straight down the lane to make your spares, and other players use that same ball for the first shot and the second shot.
But this is a big spare here. Commanding lead now after that one. That's going to open it up to almost a 40-pin advantage now, and GI really needs to string some together. Starting with Miller here. Need this 110 back. Got it. Oh, what a big shot. Outside chance, very outside, but boy, they need to put 3 together here. And now Haley Bates. Crosses over. So Kusala is going to go ahead and go now. She's not going to wait to see what happens. Try to put the pressure on. But boy, it needs this strike. Without this strike, 143 is the best, and they can't win. Has to have a strike here to have a chance. Must be 10, and it is! What a shot! Still in it. And with that spare, it's going to be really difficult now. Because all Capron needs to do is really keep it on the lane and get good count. Yeah, maybe a little more than that. Needs 7 pins. But again, if this isn't a strike, it's over. Must have this one, and that's going to do it. And so Fremont is going to be down 1-0, down 2-1, and the Tigers have come from behind to win games 4 and 5. And a great shot right there, trips the 4, and a state championship for the Fremont Tigers. Undefeated season to go with it.
That's so great to see. bright future.
Wow.
Bright, bright future for her.
Not going to matter. Pacing at about a 180. And they're going to win this 3-2. You see her use a switch grip there? Kind of spun the grip, thumb grip out of one ball, put it in the other, and spun it back in.
Those are fun.
You're like, what's a switch grip? We didn't have those.
We didn't have those back in my day.
Great cover. How about that? The Tigers are state champs for the first time in NSAA history. An undefeated season and hugs all the way around. But what a finish for this Fremont squad. They were down 2-1. They came back, shot a 185 and a 180 in back-to-back games to walk away with a state title. They do it in 5. Capron leads the way. And the Tigers are state champs.
The way we use electricity has changed a lot over the years. What hasn't changed is our commitment to make sure it's there the moment you need it. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
Coverage of the NSAA Bowling Championships is made possible in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest, Nebraska Public Power District, Nebraska Bowling Proprietors. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. One final look. Wrapping up a state title looks like that. 180-148 in game number 5. And Fremont, they are your state champs. Let's go down to Heath.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nebraska School Activities Association is pleased to present medals and trophies to both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director Jay Beller and NSAA Board of Directors Dr. Dana Weissman from Sutton, Dr. John Cerny from Bancroft Rosalie, and Thomas Lee from Omaha Westview. Now here are the awards for the runner-up. Grand Island Senior High. Well, head coach Brad Ernest and your assistant come to the lane to present the silver medals to your team. As your name is called, please come forward. Ellie Brokaw. Emily Dreyer. Wendy Kolar. Kaylee Kusala. Brianna Miller. Good job, Hannah Stromer. And Bailey Rodenall. For these outstanding participants in their school, here's the 2023 NSAA Girls Class A State Bowling Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Grand Island Senior High.
Really a phenomenal season for Brad Ernest and that GI squad. You know, this is a group that they were begging to find bowlers to come out a year ago, and here they are 1 year later, find themselves bowling for a state championship. Truly a terrific season, and congratulations to the Islanders. Time now to introduce you to the state champs. For that, we go back to Heath.
And now to the champions, Fremont High School. First, head coach Mark McKenzie, we have a special award for you. Coach McKenzie and your assistant, please hand out the gold medals to your team. As your name is called, please come forward. Haley Bates. Karina Capron. Emily Christensen. Alyssa Dorenkamp. Kaylee McKenzie. Chloe Phillips. And Kaylin Valentine. For these outstanding athletes and their school, here's the 2023 NSAA Girls Class A State Bowling Championship trophy. Congratulations, Fremont High School.
How about that? An undefeated season for the Tigers. They are the Class A state champs on the girls' side. A lot of hardware heading back to both Fremont and Grand Island, both championship and runner-up trophies for both the boys and the girls teams from Fremont and GI. When we come back, we'll hear from the champs. Stay with us.
I'm Kay McKenzie from Beatrice, and I watch, listen, and support Nebraska Public Media. I'm a history buff, so I never miss Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates Jr. and Antiques Roadshow. They're a great way to learn about history and cultures from around the world. You never know what you might learn at a program. So join me and become a member at nebraskapublicmedia.org, and thank you.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes. Once again, your state champs for the first time, the Fremont Tigers, joined now by the head coach, Mark McKenzie. You said sometimes these girls take things a little too seriously. Talk about what it was like to see that reaction at the end.
We actually had to push them out there to get that reaction at the end, because these girls are so businesslike that just want to get a little energy out of them. And I think energy sometimes this season would have helped a little bit, but it ended up undefeated season. What can you say?
Talk about how important that was, given that they finished third last year. Thought they had probably one of the top teams in the state last year, and then to finally get it done in an undefeated way.
Yeah, that's exactly why I think they were business.
Yeah.
It was all business this year. That you guys had a focus to get something done this year, even though you wouldn't admit it.
Congratulations, Mark. Appreciate it. We're going to bring in Karina Capron. But that was a tough pattern out there. We talked about 37 feet short pattern, and I could see you struggling with it a little bit. But when you needed to make the shot, when you had to have the double in the fourth game to push it to a fifth, you made a great shot.
Thank you. Yeah, I hate short. I really hate short, but I'll deal with it, and then I'll figure it out.
You've had so much success nationally. What's it like to come back here and bowl with the team, bowl with the NSAA, and win a state title?
I don't know. It feels amazing because I feel like a family again. Because by myself, I'm just like, okay, this is me. But then when I come back here with my team, I'm like, this is so much fun. I love them.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
State champ. Let's bring in Haley Bates. So 10 shots, 9 clean, 4 strikes, including a really big double that you needed in Game 3. Talk about dealing with that pressure and making big shots under pressure moments.
I've kind of decided that pressure is a big part of bowling, especially when it's Bakers. But I kind of I know I have to make my shots count because I have to set up Karina for success in the last frame. So.
Well, you did a terrific job of it. What's it mean to win a state championship with these ladies?
Well, this season may be my last, so I'm very excited that we won. And I was a little disappointed last year, but I'm glad that we got it this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
State champs, the Fremont Tigers, undefeated season as they take home the title. We'll wrap things up from here at Sun Valley Lanes when we come back.
Live sports and documentaries are part of the valued services from Nebraska Public Media. Fans of high school and college sports have a great way to ensure these programs will continue. Join the Nebraska Public Media Sports Partners Club. This is your home for Husker Volleyball, Big Red Wrap-Up, and high school championships. Log on to nebraskapublicmedia.org/sportspartners and explore the benefits of joining. With your support, sports action will stay right here all year long. And thank you.
And welcome back, Sun Valley Lanes. 2 state champs have already been crowned. In Class A boys, it was Grand Island going back-to-back. In the girls, Fremont Tigers finish an undefeated season. Now, before our crew joins you in just a moment, we want to tell you about a very remarkable high school bowling program that's making an impact far beyond the lanes.
I think bowling is pretty awesome, and I wanted to do this since I was a kid.
This year is all about fun and we just play with your friends. It was about vibes.
Awesome, fun, friends. 3 words that students like Octavius and Anthony use to describe the game of bowling. A sport they get to participate in because of Benson's unified bowling team.
Unified bowling is special education students and regular students coming together to compete and to have fun and learn the game of bowling.
Great job! To me, if people can join and they get some special needs, just come play.
Regular kids like myself get to participate with ACP kids at our school, which is really nice because we don't really get to see them often in our classes. It's just a whole new environment, and it's like you get to see what they're really like because they're normal people just like anybody else.
I'd say it's a great experience just to see how they interact with each other and to see what they learn from each other. A lot of times that just is unexpected, but they really do learn a lot from each other and they really learn to become friends.
It gives me a new perspective because my niece has autism as well. So like me realizing that I can also befriend like other people that's different from me, it's really nice.
New perspectives and experiences turned into sincere friendship amongst this team. Friendship that is now infiltrating the halls of Benson High School.
Last year, it helped me make some more friends.
I see them every day in student council, and I think it's pretty awesome.
The kids are more connected now, even just with each other and with everybody else. So it's not just a stranger. It's like, oh yeah, that's Octavius. You know, I know that kid. So it just makes it more of a small community and a family almost.
I would just say like, try to like talk to the other people. Like try to befriend other people, even if they're a little different for you, and even if you're kind of icky about it. It's just a good way to learn more about like how they are different from you and like how you are different from them, but how you guys can also work together as a team.
Participating in multiple Nebraska high school activities has taught me the value of teamwork.
I learned how to be a strong leader among my peers.
We set goals as a team and work hard to accomplish them.
I strive to excel not only in the classroom, but on the playing field.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities for our member high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.